How effort reaches the realm of art. Meryl Streep's Life Lessons Prologue. 1,000 Faces, One True Heart. Meryl Streep. Everyone, if someone asks you, are you the best actor in the world, what would you say? There is one woman who makes the whole world nod in agreement with that question. That woman is Meryl Streep. The remarkable record of 21 Academy Award nominations, 3 Oscar trophies. But these numbers do not fully describe Meryl Streep. She is famous not just for acting in roles, but for becoming the character itself through her method acting. Her dedication to mastering Polish and German and practicing the violin for 6 hours a day. To perform evokes a sense of awe. However, what we should focus on today in Legend of Oscars is not her dazzling award history. Why does she push herself like a rookie actress and dedicate herself to intense practice, even though she has already reached the top? During her unknown days when she faced the insulting rejection of being told, "You're too ugly for this role," what was the one belief that lifted her up? And how could you maintain the healthiest family as an ordinary mom of 4 while staying at the top of Hollywood for decades? Today's Life Benchmarking Report explores how the cliched word effort becomes a powerful weapon when filtered through the lens of Meryl Streep. Her life whispers to us, your limits are not where you stop, but beyond what you can't even imagine. Now, let's dive into the life report of Meryl Streep. The living legend of Hollywood, who possesses a passionate humanity hidden behind her relentless perfectionism. Before we get into the main story, subscribing and setting notifications will be the most certain trigger to turn your diligence into legendary achievements. Please press now. Part 1 Life Story: An Unstoppable Journey Towards Perfection. Scene 1. She responds to the mockery of "so ugly" with self-esteem. Meryl Streep's beginning was not a glamorous red carpet. In the mid-1970s, she, a promising newcomer who graduated from Yale's drama school, found herself at the audition for the movie. At that time, the film's producer, the big shot Dino De Laurentiis, said this to his son in Italian. "Why did you bring such an ugly woman?" He thought she wouldn't understand Italian, but Meryl Streep confidently replied in Italian, "I'm sorry for not being pretty enough for your movie. But this is just your opinion, and I will go to a better place." This anecdote shows the essence of a person named Meryl Streep. She did not entrust her worth to the evaluations of others. Instead of cutting herself down to fit the public's aesthetic standards, she makes a fierce determination to compete with her essence, which is acting ability. During her unknown days, she faced numerous rejections. However, instead of getting discouraged with each rejection, she used that time to hone her skills. "I can't change their tastes, but I can make it so they can't stand not using me." This was her philosophy. Her early years, breaking through the walls of prejudice based on appearance and planting a flag in the heart of Hollywood, leave us with a heavy report that true self-esteem comes from inner strength, which resonates with those of us exhausted by today's obsession with credentials and looks. Scene 2. The word that symbolizes Meryl Streep, the relentless practice bug, who replicates the soul of her roles, is transformation. She is reborn as a completely different person with each work. However, this transformation is not a natural talent, but rather the result of relentless practice that knows no compromise. The amount of her practice is so impressive that even her fellow actors are left in awe. When she took on the role of a Polish woman in the movie, she didn't just mimic the accent. She mastered Polish and German perfectly, reaching a level where even native Polish speakers would mistake her for one. Additionally, when she played the role of a violin teacher she dedicated 6 hours a day to violin practice for 8 weeks, performing all the musical scenes in the film without a double. The word moderation does not exist for Meryl Streep. She engraves the character's walk, the speed of blinking, and even the slightest feeling of unease that the character might experience into every single cell. By the time she arrives on set, she is no longer Meryl Streep, she has already become the character itself. This perfectionism made her the embodiment of method acting. But she says, acting is a skill. And skills can only be perfected through repetitive training. Her life asks us, how much are you honing yourself to become an irreplaceable presence in your field? Meryl Streep profoundly teaches everyone who dreams of achievement that details are trust. Scene 3. 45 years have passed, and she makes an extraordinary choice to remain an ordinary mom. Although she receives the most dazzling spotlight in Hollywood, her life behind the camera is surprisingly neat and ordinary. Since marrying sculptor Don Gummer in 1978, she has maintained her family for over 45 years without a single discord. While raising her 4 children, what she was most wary of was the illusion of stardom entering her home. Meryl Streep wanted to be remembered by her children, not as an Oscar-winning actress but as a mom preparing dinner in the kitchen. Even amidst her busy filming schedule, she took care of her children's homework and participated in school events, maintaining a normal daily life. For her, home was a sanctuary that healed her soul after the intense emotional labor of acting. She says, "Home is the anchor that keeps me grounded in reality." While countless stars in Hollywood are swept away by fame and temptation, the reason she has been able to maintain her position at the top for decades, paradoxically, lies in that ordinariness. To catch both the perfectionism at work and the dedication at home, she had to expend 2 or 3 times the energy compared to others. However, that effort made her a stronger person. She teaches us an important lesson. Truly great achievements are not completed with applause in the workplace, but rather at a quiet table shared with the people I love. Part 2 Movie Story: The Acting Manual on Screen. Scene 1. A level where even silence becomes acting. Movie synopsis. After World War II, a Polish woman who survived a Nazi concentration camp crosses over to America. This film depicts the tragic choices faced by Sophie as she confronts the horrific secrets of her deeply buried past. This is the work that immortalized the name Meryl Streep in the history of world cinema, namely, the performance she showed in this movie was closer to asceticism than just simple acting. She drastically lost weight to portray the hunger in the Nazi concentration camps, and perfectly mastered the Polish and German accents. However, the highlight of this film lies not in language but in silence. When the Nazi officer forces one of the 2 children to be chosen, the despair and fear that flicker across Sophie's face, along with the moment her soul shatters, is considered one of the most painful scenes in film history. Meryl Streep put herself into a state of extreme psychological isolation even before filming this scene. She did not merely mimic the character's pain, she actually went through that hell. In the end, she won her first Academy Award for Best Actress with this work. Critics praised, Meryl Streep has transcended the limits of sorrow that a human can express. The greatest achievement comes not from dazzling technique, but from a brutal truthfulness that accepts the pain of the role as one's own. Scene 2. The perfectionism hidden behind charisma. Movie synopsis. The story revolves around Miranda, the absolute power in the fashion world and editor-in-chief, and the conflict and growth of her harsh assistant. This drama depicts the conflict and growth of Andrea Anne Hathaway, who becomes the harsh assistant to Miranda. Meryl Streep. This is the moment when Meryl Streep, who was the queen of tragedy, is reborn as a modern icon. The character Miranda Priestley that she played was not just a scary boss. Meryl Streep rejected the typical villain style for this role. Instead of shouting, she chose to overpower her opponent with a very low and calm voice. This low voice setting put all the staff on edge and instantly captured the charisma of the play. An interesting anecdote is that she maintained a distance from her junior actors, including Anne Hathaway, throughout the filming period to preserve Miranda's coldness. However, behind that coldness lay the loneliness of a professional who sacrifices her personal life and emotions to maintain the vast empire of fashion. In particular, the scene where the history of fashion contained in a blue sweater is recited shows the overwhelming force that emerges when knowledge and authority combine. She asks about the leadership and professionalism of our time. Does true charisma come from power, or does it come from perfect mastery of one's field? Meryl Streep proved that the latter is correct through Miranda's sharp gaze. Scene 3: The Dignity of a Master, portraying the passage of time movie synopsis. This biographical film intricately explores the political struggles and peak of power of Margaret Thatcher, the first female Prime Minister of the UK, as well as the loneliness of her old age while suffering from dementia and reminiscing about the past. This is the work that earned Meryl Streep her third Oscar trophy. In this film, she perfectly embodies not only the appearance of the real-life figure, Margaret Thatcher, but also her stubborn demeanor and subtle hand tremors. It's not just a matter of simply mimicking well. She laid bare the complex inner world of obsession with power, and feelings of alienation as a woman, on the screen. The most surprising aspect is her portrayal of the elderly version of the character. The moments when the frailty of an elderly man losing his memory intersects with the pride of a politician who once ruled the world leave viewers feeling heavy-hearted. For this role, she watched countless videos of speeches by the character, repeating them thousands of times, and even wore special dentures to replicate her oral structure and correct her pronunciation. This film can be considered the culmination of Meryl Streep's acting career. She shows us what the end of effort really is. A magic that calls forth the spirit of a character into the present without being trapped in the shadow of a real person. It was a miracle created by Meryl Streep's active spirit, studying and researching more fiercely than newcomers, even at over 60 years of age. Part 3: Life Lessons, benchmarking 3 reports left by Meryl Streep. Theme 1: Effort. The power of details that create perfection. Scene 1: Overwhelming practice volume that breaks the illusion of talent. People look at Meryl Streep and say, she is an actress born with innate talent. But she shakes her head firmly and says, my acting is the result of 1% inspiration and 99% relentless training. Her effort is not just at the level of working hard. Once the role is determined, she writes the character's biography herself, imagining everything from the type of coffee he drinks to his favorite poem. The first lesson this report teaches us is the density of preparation. What we often call the limits of talent may actually be an excuse for lack of effort. Meryl Streep practices her vocal exercises thousands of times in places where no one is watching, and makes countless facial expressions in front of a mirror. If you want to achieve overwhelming success in your field, are you ready to transform boring repetition into artistic sublimation, like Meryl Streep? Scene 2: The professional craftsmanship that transcends limits. Meryl Streep's efforts come from not setting her own limits. It is well known that she picked up the violin for the first time at the age of 50 and practiced for 6 hours a day. Although people around her advised her to use a double, she refused. This is because the audience reads the truth from the actor's fingertips. This is the craftsmanship report. She knows better than anyone that a moderate compromise undermines the overall quality. What we need to live in 2026 is this obsession with details. The strength to push through until you are not ashamed of yourself, even if others do not recognize it, is the fine line that separates legends from the ordinary. Scene 3: The active spirit that constantly renews herself has won the Oscar trophy 3 times. Yet she still asks questions on set like a newcomer. Director, is there a better way for me to express this part? To her, past glory is like yesterday's newspaper. With each work, she returns herself to a zero state and fills herself up again. This report warns against complacency. She knows that the most dangerous moment is when you reach the top. As we age and tend to lose flexibility. Meryl Streep teaches us how to remain forever active, by constantly learning new skills and throwing herself into new environments. Theme 2: Self-esteem: How to free yourself from the opinions of others. Scene Using 1. The insult, ugly, as nourishment. The comment, "You're so ugly," that she heard in her early days could have been a deep wound for the young Meryl Streep. However, she did not accept that evaluation as part of her identity. Looking at herself in the mirror, she cast a spell, saying, "My face is attractive enough to hold thousands of stories." The key point of this report is selective acceptance of criticism. The world constantly tries to evaluate and define us. However, true growth begins only when we step out of the prison of others' gaze, just like Meryl Streep. Remember that your worth does not depend on the lips of others, but on the conviction within your heart. Scene 2: Focus on essence, that does not get swept away by trends. While Hollywood is obsessed with plastic surgery and glamorous appearances, Meryl Streep chose to embrace her natural aging and wrinkles. She believed that each wrinkle was a badge of honor for the years she had spent acting. Rather than chasing external beauty, focusing on the essence of acting, that is, understanding humanity, has made her an irreplaceable icon. This report emphasizes the power of essence to us. Instead of pouring energy into decorating your appearance, focus on developing your inner skills. Trends may change, but the essence remains eternal. The reason Meryl Streep is still the best leading actress, even after turning 70, is that she has nurtured the core, rather than just the shell. Scene 3: The courage to be rejected and the resilience to get back up. She hasn't passed every audition just because she is who she is. She has faced countless rejections and has sometimes been ignored. However, she interpreted rejection not as a failure, but as a process. Thinking, "That person just isn't ready to recognize my worth yet," she knocked on the next door. Self-esteem is not about being unhurt, but is completed through resilience that allows one to rise again even after being hurt. The self-esteem report from Meryl Streep tells us that even if the world rejects you, you must always be on your own side until the end. Theme 3: Balance the wisdom of centering life. Scene 1: Protect the real life outside the camera. Meryl Streep loves acting, but she says that acting is not everything in life. After filming, she returns to her family without delay. She values her life as someone's wife and mother more than the fictional existence of a star. It was this sense of balance that allowed her to maintain her mental health even amidst the emotional turmoil of acting. This report emphasizes the importance of healthy distancing for modern individuals who are buried in work and lose their lives. Meryl Streep advises that you need a solid root in your daily life to support you. Remember that peace at the table is as important as success in the workplace. Scene 2: 45 years of companionship. Love is walking together. Her husband, Don, quietly supported her achievements, and Meryl Streep also respected her husband's artistic world. Their relationship, which maintains a deep bond without hindering each other's growth, is called a miracle of Hollywood. In her acceptance speeches, she always expresses her gratitude to her husband. First, making it clear that her success is not something she achieved alone. This report talks about the value of relationships. A star that shines alone is lonely, but a constellation that shines together is eternal. Who is the most reliable pacemaker in your life race? Nurturing your relationship with that person is akin to nurturing your life. Scene 3, Courageous Citizen, Meryl Streep does not use her fame solely for personal gain. She raises her voice on women's rights, environmental issues, and political correctness whenever necessary. She believes that an artist should go beyond merely providing enjoyment and play the role of society's conscience. The final report is about positive influence. The end of success is not about having more, but about sharing more and participating in making the world a better place. When you use your influence in a valuable way like Meryl Streep, your achievements finally become legendary. Epilogue: effort will never betray you. Today, we read together the life report of the master with 1,000 Faces, Meryl Streep. The one word that runs through her life is relentless diligence. The young woman who was told, "You're too ugly to be an actress," became a living legend in Hollywood, and in that process, we saw the true face of effort. The effort she showed was not simply about spending a lot of time. It was about the details that replicated even the slightest tremor of her character. It was the courage to pick up the violin for the first time at the age of 50, and it was the balance that maintained a family for 45 years. She proved it to us. Talent is given by the heavens, but the fact is that only oneself can nurture that talent and turn it into art. Now it's your turn. Try to incorporate what you learned today from Meryl Streep about unwavering self-esteem and diligence into your daily life. When you quietly pave your own path, even if others do not recognize it, you will eventually become the brightest protagonist on the stage of your own life. Today, I hope the report prepared by Legend of Oscars has ignited a small spark in your hearts. What do you think is Meryl Streep's best scene in her life? Or if you have made a new resolution while watching her, please share it in the comments. Until the day when all your efforts become legendary, Legend of Oscars will be with you. Please join this great journey by subscribing and liking.